Today we're looking at an aircraft from the French who have a passion for the Caribbean. Socata, does that sound like a French name to you? It sounds Japanese to me. Socata. TB, so that you might know there's some Socata Trinidad, some Socata Tobagos. So obviously the TB must stand for Trinidad Tobago, right? Well, you'd be wrong. Actually, it stands for Tarbes, which is the French city where the aircraft is manufactured. There's some aviation pub quiz knowledge for you. But it does seem that the manufacturing company had some kind of love affair with the Caribbean because, yep, they named a couple of the variants Trinidad and Tobagos. And that is why the aircraft have become known as the Caribbean planes. They're obviously single-engine light aircraft designed for recreational civilian use as well as training because of their genuinely decent and forgiving flight characteristics. Particularly the TB-200 model, which was specifically produced to meet the varied requirements of trainer aircraft. Because of its easy-to-handle flight characteristics, its handling and control sensitivity, vice-free flying attitude, and being able to recover easily from your typical stall. Also quite widely used for instrument training, all variants apart from the TB-9 have a constant speed propeller. The cockpit is quite well ergonomically laid out, that's difficult to say. And one of the biggest selling points of this aircraft is the amount of room that you get in the cabin, especially for an aircraft of this class and size. This is because the fuselage is rounded out over the wings, which gives you more room, but because it's wider, there is a trade-off with performance, giving you less speed for an aircraft of this size. But for your more heavy-set pilot looking for a bit more room, this could be the aircraft for you. It's got 4 seats for your typical family holiday, and to be honest with you, I actually think the aircraft looks pretty sleek, so having this extra room in it is a big bonus. I think the aircraft looks nice, it looks sleek, handles well, and also has plenty of room in it with an ergonomically designed cockpit. What more can you ask for? You know what I'm going to say, more power, which did actually come with the TB-200 series, with, that's right, 200 horsepower. From a Lycoming IO 360A1B6 piston engine. So all of the TB series share the same basic fuselage and interior configuration, but there are differences, most notably around having bigger engines for more power, some have retractable undercarriage for more speed, and some have different propeller configurations. With the optional 3-blade propeller giving you better ground clearance and a quieter cabin. And the first Socata version, the T9 Tampico, was designed in the 1980s. I really hope I've pronounced the names of these aircraft correctly. I really am starting to wish that I studied harder at French in school. During the 1990s, there were upgrades, and that brought us the TB-20 Trinidad. And then in the year 2000 plus, the TB series went under more modernisation, and this was reflected in the GT letters, which stand for Generation 2, so there's more for your pub quiz knowledge. The GT versions featured an even bigger cabin for your even bigger heavyset pilots, various aerodynamic improvements, and most notably the differences between the first and second generation are redesigned wingtips. The wingtips are rounder on the older models, and the shape of the vertical stabilizer is curved on the lower front of the Generation 2 models. The rear windows were also redesigned to blend more into the fuselage, and the GT Generation 2 gave you the option of that 3-bladed propeller for better ground clearance and better cabin noise. So the series start out with the Socata TB-9 Tampico, and then the Socata TB-10 Tobago, and then we have a TB-11, 15, 16, and then the well-known Socata TB-20 Trinidad. And then we move on to the TB-21 Trinidad, and we have a TB-30 Epsilon and a TB-30 Omega, and that's a complete range. Also including the TB-200 trainer aircraft with a 200 horsepower engine. And if you want the most beastly, souped up version of this aircraft, you want to check out the TB-31 Omega, which has up to 483 horsepower. So that'll certainly get you places at speed and in comfort. If you fly or own a Socata TB series of aircraft, and there's anything that I've missed out of this video that you want to discuss in the comments, feel free. I know there's probably a lot more to talk about with this aircraft. I apologise for any French viewers for butchering the names of these aircraft, but I actually have been up in one of these and it was a really pleasant and enjoyable flight. I actually do really like the aircraft, and if you want to purchase one, there's plenty for sale judging by our database and website findaircraftforsale.com. The prices are going to vary completely depending on how old the aircraft is. You can pick some up for anywhere between $50,000 or £200,000 or dollars, depending on your currency and place in the world. If you do want to browse the second-hand market to see what aircraft are for sale near you, go to findaircraftforsale.com. You can use the region search there and quite easily just put in a radius, which will give you everything that's for sale around you. You can search by price, you can search by category of aircraft, you can search for parts and things like that. And if you are looking to buy your first aircraft and pass your PPL exams, please check out PPL Easy Pass, the only app of its kind that allows you to take simulated PPL ESA tests and find exactly which questions you're struggling on the most, so that you can jump straight to those questions and focus your studying efforts on the things that you keep failing. If you like these videos and find them informative, please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe for more. I'm aiming to do a video like this every week. Some of them are going to be on more exotic and exciting aircraft, and others are going to be on the kind of aircraft that people like to buy in the used second-hand market. The UK is lifting the lockdown for the coronavirus, allowing recreational pilots to go out solo again. I know I'm going to get myself back up into the air. I hope you guys do too. Happy flying.